everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about all of the fragrances that I wore last week. So I don't know how I managed to wear as many fragrances as I have to show you guys, but I did. I've got a ton. I've also got a couple of layering fails, and which I'm very excited to share with you. And yeah, I'm gonna jump right in. One of the first fragrances that I wore this week is one that I've been craving for a while. I pulled this out for, I think I pulled this out for my transitional video. Actually, no, I don't think I did. I don't think that I have talked about this one in a while, but I recently saw it. Like, I saw it when we were moving, and I pulled it out because I knew I wanted to wear it pretty immediately. This is Rosé All Day from Gallagher Fragrances. Rosé All Day is a stunner. This is apple crisp, plum, dark rose, brown sugar, tonka bean, and stainless steel. Now, what is funny about this, somebody left a comment on the last video that I talked about a Gallagher perfume in, saying that she was just not a big fan of any of the Gallagher fragrances. None of them really worked for her, which is so funny because I felt the exact same way about Gallagher. I picked up the Gallagher Discovery Kit, so I got every single fragrance in the line. It's been probably 4-ish years ago. I think I did a video about it, in fact. And when I tested this one, Rosé All Day, because this is the one that gets all the hype from the entire line, this one gets hyped up so much. I already knew I loved Wicked Good because I had a decant of Wicked Good back then, and I adored it, which is what prompted me to want to get the entire line and test them all. And I was really, really disappointed with every other fragrance in the line. I didn't love them. They didn't work very well on me. I tested Rosé All Day at that time, and I got nothing but the rose and the stainless steel note in it. And if you've been following this channel for any time at all, you know that I really, really dislike a metallic note in perfumes. So this one just really did not work for me. Well, fast forward like 3 years later, and I can't remember, I feel like I either came across the sample of Rosé All Day that I had. I don't think so. I think somebody else sent me a different sample, and I tested Rosé All Day again. This was, I think, last winter, and I fell head over heels in love with it. When I tested it that time, I got the plum. I did get some of the rose, but it was more about the plum and the apple and the brown sugar. I wasn't getting any of the metallic note in it. It was just stunning, and I knew right then I had to have a full bottle of it. Oh my gosh, and I still feel that way about it today. It is beautiful. So it went like 180 degrees on this fragrance. I went from really, really not liking it to having to have a full bottle, getting a full bottle, and absolutely loving it. I just adore this perfume. It's so, I've never smelled anything like it, and I adore it. It's got the most beautiful apple note in it, but it's like a baked apple. It's not a fresh apple. It's a baked apple and brown sugar. The rose keeps it from getting really, really sweet. The rose is a really beautiful, crisp, fresh rose. It's really hard to explain this one, but it's a stunning fragrance. So you get this really beautiful, bright, fresh, crisp rose and a baked apple and brown sugar. You get the sweetness from the plum, but it's not overly sweet. It's just a stunner of a fragrance. I love it. I could not live without this perfume. This is one that's gonna live out for a while because I just have a feeling I'm gonna be craving it a lot. This is one that I love to wear to bed as well. I don't know why. It doesn't really scream like bedtime fragrance, but there's something about it that is just, oh, it's so comforting and amazing. And it wasn't super hot out the day I wore it, but it was definitely in the 80s. And it was fine. It worked beautifully, even in the heat. I love it more in the cold weather, I will say that. I enjoy this much more in the cold weather, but it works beautifully in the heat as well. So anyways, that is the first one. That is Rosé All Day from Gallagher. And yeah, and I just went like, again, like hard 180 on the whole house of Gallagher. I've got 3 full bottles now. I've got Rosé All Day. I've got Wicked Good, as well as Vanilla Silk. I am obsessed with all three of them. Their other line, the pearlescent fragrances, those are incredible as well. There's one, it's Jasmine something. It's amazing. I'm like obsessed with Gallagher now. I think they're stunning. So anyways, I'm gonna be quiet. That is Rosé All Day from Gallagher. And that fragrance never really wore off, but it was one that I sprayed on pretty early in the morning, and then I wore it all day, and I was out all day, and by the time I got home I could still smell it, but for whatever reason I just wanted to add some vanilla to it. So I got into my little oil bin and I pulled out this guy here. This is the Nest Madagascar Vanilla Perfume Oil. This is so beautiful. It's such a warm, creamy, sweet vanilla. I think it's got a little bit of coconut in it, but it's like a beautiful watery coconut. It's not a suntan lotion coconut, and that's really what it smells like to me. This really beautiful, warm, sweet, creamy. It's almost a vanilla in the vein of Bath & Body Works Warm Vanilla Sugar. It's a really warm vanilla like that, and it's creamy with a beautiful, warm, watery coconut note. I love it. I've still got quite a bit of oil left in this little tiny guy, and I don't use it a whole ton, so I think this will last me a little while, but this is one that I will definitely be getting a bigger, probably not the full size, but I will definitely be getting the bigger rollerball size of this when I finally run out of this. It's beautiful. This thing lasts forever too. I put it on, I wanna say it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening when I put this on, and I could still smell it when I went to bed that night at 10, 11 o'clock. I couldn't smell it anymore when I woke up the next morning, so it definitely wore off at some point during the night, but I would say you can pretty easily get 5 or 6 hours out of this, and that was in the heat. So, and I picked these up in the spring VIB sale, so I've never even been able to try any of these in the cold weather yet. So I'm hoping that this will perform even better in the cold weather. It's a stunner. It's definitely if you like vanilla, yeah, if you really like vanilla like I do, I think you would really like this one. If you like Warm Vanilla Sugar, the original formulation of Warm Vanilla Sugar from Bath & Body Works, I think you would really like this as well. It's such a cozy, beautiful vanilla. So anyways, that is Nest Madagascar Vanilla. Okay, next I finally tested this guy here. This is Sean John Empress. And this is so funny. When I first sprayed this on a paper blotter, this really smelled almost identical to DKNY Women, which is a really bright citrus and tomato leaf fragrance. And it still does smell like that out of the bottle as well. But when I sprayed this on my skin, I got Davidoff Cool Water for Women, definitely. It was so similar to that. And then after it started to dry down a little bit, there's kind of a smoothness to Cool Water Women, or Cool Water Woman, that as this started to dry down, it started to get more, it started to smell even more crisp, and it almost reminds me of a mixture of my two high school signature scents, which was Davidoff Cool Water and Ralph Lauren Polo Sport Woman. It kind of reminds me, when it dried down on my skin, it reminded me of a mixture of the two of those fragrances. I really like this one. It definitely smells vintagey, like as in 90s. It definitely smells like an aquatic 90s scent. Think Cool Water Woman, Polo Sport Woman. It's definitely like kind of a mixture of the two. I really like it. I think it's a really pretty little gem. And yeah, I probably won't wear this again until it starts to get warm out, because it's definitely not like it's definitely not a cold weather fragrance at all. But yeah, I am glad that I did get one good wear in before it started to get cold. So anyways, that is Sean John Empress. Next, I wore this one here. This is Clinique My Happy Cookies and Kisses. Oh, I love this perfume. This reminds me a lot of Replica by the Fireplace, but this is sweeter and Yeah, it's sweeter. It's very vanilla heavy. And you really don't get the by the fireplace vibe until it starts to dry down. But I love this. This one, unfortunately, these Clinique My Happy fragrances just don't last very long. Again, it is still very warm here, so I am testing all of these in the heat. So it probably has a lot to do with that as well, but just in my experience with these perfumes, I haven't had the best performance. Hopefully, as it continues to get cooler, this will maybe perform a little bit better. But I can tell you, you definitely get this kind of cookie, this kind of yummy edible vanilla cookie vibe when you first spray it on, and maybe for the first 45 seconds or so, and then as it dries down, it starts to get woody, and you definitely get that by the fireplace smell. I love it. It's really, really nice. It's a little bit like Gallagher Vanilla Silk too, because Vanilla Silk smells similar to By the Fireplace, but it's way smoother and much more vanilla heavy. This is the same, but this isn't smoother. In fact, this isn't even as refined smelling as By the Fireplace. So, but it's sweeter and it's got more vanilla in it. It's nice. I mean, for $21 or whatever I paid for it, I think it's super nice. I can't wait to wear it this entire season. This is going to be a pan fragrance for me for the fall. I'm going to try. Fingers crossed. We'll see if I can make it through. I'll see if I can, but I'm not going to make myself do it by the end of the year, just hopefully by the end of the cold season this year. I'll try to get through this. So anyways, that is Clinique My Happy Cookies and Kisses. Really good one. Next, I wore this one here. In fact, I'm about to pick up a new bottle of this. I found a bottle of it on the Walmart website for $22, so I'm gonna pick a new bottle up. This is DKNY Golden Delicious. This is my favorite version of the Be Delicious fragrance. It's a beautiful flanker. It does have a Golden Delicious apple note in it, and it's beautiful. It's syrupy and sweet. It smells like the original Be Delicious, but it's a little bit more dense smelling. It's a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit smoother, and I don't want to say darker, but for lack of a better word, darker. It's just beautiful. I love this perfume. This is one of those perfumes that just smells amazing on me. So a lot of it just, I think, has to do with my skin chemistry and how beautifully this meshes with it. And I just adore it. I adore it. But I'm afraid that this has been reformulated. I don't know. That's why I want to buy a new bottle. Number one, because this is just a little half-ounce bottle, and you can see I've probably got, I don't know, I probably have 7-ish ml left, 7 or 8 ml left in here, and I ration it because of that. So I want to pick up a new bottle to see if it's the same formulation, if it smells the same, and also so I can either work through this one or save this one and use the newer formulation if it does. This is an absolute beast on me. I can spray this on once in the morning and it will get me through an entire day. I never have to reapply. It smells incredible all day long, and I just love it. I love this scent. Again, it is my favorite flanker from this line. I love the original Be Delicious too, don't get me wrong, I adore it, but there's just something special about this one. I think it's just that Golden Delicious note. Gosh, it's got a cleanliness to it too. So anyways, that is DKNY Golden Delicious. Okay, next we have a layering fail. So I wore this lotion. This is the Bath & Body Works Coffee and Whiskey Body Cream. And this is, it says it's a warm fragrance with a hint of sweetness, inspired by the classic combination of coffee and bold Irish whiskey. This is a beautiful, beautiful body cream. It smells incredible on me. It smells incredible out of the tube. It's just a beautiful, sweet coffee scent, and I love it. I need to try layering this with some other fragrances. I thought, foolishly, thought that it would layer really well with Sofia Vergara Love. Sofia Vergara Love has a coffee note in it as well. Oh, it's so good. This perfume on its own, don't ever layer it over coffee and whiskey, but this perfume on its own is so good. It's sweet and creamy without being too heavy. It's got a little bit of a candy-like note to it, or a little bit of a candy-like scent. It's a fun scent. It's one of my most complimented scents in my collection. When I used to wear this out of the house, which who am I kidding? I don't ever leave the house anymore. I'm like a shut-in. I will fully admit I am a shut-in, so I don't leave the house very often, but when I did used to have to go to work and things and leave the house all of the time, I used to wear this a lot because and I've got a huge dent in it too. You probably can't see it, but I do have a pretty big dent in this. And I used to get compliments on this like crazy. This is a man killer fragrance. This is an absolute man killer. My husband loves it. All of the men that I used to work with used to love it. It's such a good one. But this is an absolute fail of a combination. I will never layer this over this again. Something about the sweetness in this and the sweetness in this got very, very sickening very quickly. I think the lotion on its own is sweet enough. So I think next time I'm actually going to try layering this. This is the Paulina Rubio Oro fragrance, and this is kind of spiced. It's a little bit spiced. This one leans just a touch masculine. It's got a coffee note in it. I believe it's got a coffee note in it as well, but it's not sweet. So I think this combination will be really, really beautiful. This does not need anything sweet layered over it because, again, it's sweet enough on its own. Yeah, it's sweet enough on its own. So I love the two of these separate. They're beautiful. It's not a good layering combination at all. It almost made me like gag. It was just not good. And something about it got weird too. There was kind of like a weird, I don't know, there was like a weird funk about the combination too, if you guys know what I'm saying. It was just not good. So anyways, yeah, that is Bath & Body Works Coffee and Whiskey, amazing on its own, and Sofia Vergara Love, again, amazing on its own. And for being a celebrity scent, this thing lasts forever. You can easily get like 6-8 hours out of this fragrance easily. It's amazing. So anyways, that is Sofia Vergara Love. Okay, this next one, you guys are gonna see this in a haul video coming up. I just picked this fragrance up and I'm so glad I did. This is Alyssa Ashley White Musk, and I've been on this musk kick, and I think I'm about to get on a milky musk kick because I just got some samples sent to me with a couple of like milky sweet musk fragrances, and I'm obsessed. So I'm kind of on this like musk kick, and I have been for kind of a while. But anyways, I finally picked up White Musk from Alyssa Ashley. I love Alyssa Ashley perfumes. I think that they're incredible for the price, and this is no exception. This is a beautiful kind of traditional, yeah, it's a beautiful traditional, light, very clean, slightly sweet white musk fragrance. This thing is an absolute beast on me. I sprayed this on, let me see, I think I wore this one yesterday, and I sprayed it on when I got out of the shower in the morning, and I could still smell it on me into the evening. In fact, I ended up putting another, because I was just wanting to test another perfume, and I ended up putting another perfume on that was way stronger than this, so it like kind of drowned this out and overpowered it. But I think I would have still smelled like this morning if I had maybe even just reapplied it once, or I would still smell it on my clothing even if I never reapplied it. It's a really good performing fragrance, and I love it. I love a beautiful, clean white musk, and that's exactly what this is. So anyways, that is White Musk from Alyssa Ashley. Okay, next, this is one that I just picked up off of Mercari, and I got it in a bundle with another kind of vetiver-based fragrance. This is Golden Decade from Zara, and This is a clone of YSL Libre, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's lavender and orange blossom. It's sweet and syrupy smelling. It's buttery smelling. I say syrupy when I really need to say buttery because it's buttery. I will also tell you guys, I love the color of the sprayer and the cap on this one. It's a gunmetal, like it's a gunmetal color instead of silver, and I just think it's so pretty. I think it looks really beautiful with the color of the liquid, that ambery liquid. Yeah, I love this. This thing is an absolute beast. It smells almost identical to Libre, not quite as good as the real Libre, but almost identical. I mean, you almost can't tell them apart. I think there's just a touch more lavender in Libre. Yeah, it's almost undetectable. If I didn't love Libre so much and know like every nuance of how it smells, I would not be able to tell a difference, but because I'm so obsessed with Libre and I love it so much, I can tell a little bit of a difference, but I don't think that, you know, normal people would. I just said I'm not normal, but yeah, I don't think that, you know, most people would be able to smell a difference at all. It's beautiful. It's a beast. It lasts forever. I sprayed this on in the morning. I never reapplied it. I never needed to reapply it, and it got me through an entire day. I think it's an amazing, amazing clone of Libre, and a really, really good priced one as well. I think these are $29 maybe, which is amazing. So anyways, that is a Golden Decade from Zara. Next, I wore this beauty. So we had to go meet a couple to talk about some property. I like had to quickly figure out what fragrance I was gonna wear. I didn't wanna wear anything offensive or that was gonna be too loud. And this is the perfume that I always reach for when I need to just reach for something quickly because I know I'm gonna smell amazing. Chances of somebody disliking this are very, very slim, and I'm just gonna smell pretty and pleasant, and that is exactly how I smelled. This is Jeanne Lanvin from Lanvin, and I love it. This one it's like really light, sweet, delicate florals. It's really, really bright in the top. Berry and delicate florals and some citruses. It just smells amazing. I say it every time I talk about this one because it does get compared to Gucci 2, the one with the pink liquid in like the little cube bottle. And I do think that they're very similar, but I think I actually like Jeanne Lanvin better. It's just a beautiful fragrance. It's a staple in my perfume collection. It's an underrated gem. I never hear anybody talk about this well, who am I kidding? I don't ever hear anybody talk about any fragrances. I just don't have time. But yeah, I have never really heard anybody talk about this perfume, and for me, this is such an underrated gem. So anyways, that is Jeanne Lanvin from Lanvin. Next, I wore this beauty. This was sent over to me by a subscriber earlier this year. This is a fragrance called, I think it's from a house called Luria, and it's a perfume called La Curie. If I am saying, I think. I'm not super familiar with this house. Let me see if I can show you the label. Probably not. Yeah, there we go. So I think that's the house name, Luria, and then the fragrance name is called La Curie. And this is one of those fragrances. This has got such a distinct smell to it. It's really unlike anything I've ever smelled before. To me, this smells like a woody maple syrup. It's sweet, but really light and delicate smelling. It's got a really, really delicate wood in it. And it smells like a very delicate wood and maple syrup fragrance. And it's incredible. This was one of those fragrances that just out of the blue I started craving. So I pulled it out because I was like, oh, I need to pull out that fragrance that smells like a soft, clean wood and maple syrup. Oh, it's so good. I love it. It's an absolute beast on me. I will say it'll project for, this one will project for maybe an hour, and then after that it does start to wear close to the skin, but you will be able to smell it for hours and hours. This was one that I never had to reapply anything. I still smelled like this when I went to bed that night. It's a super cozy, comforting fragrance, and yeah, I was just super happy. It's such a little gem to have in my collection too, because it's not anything that I ever would have, like, I didn't even know this house existed until this was sent to me, and I'm so grateful to have it, because number one, I enjoy it so much, and number two, it's just such an underrated little gem. So anyways, that is from a house called La Ria, and it is called La Curie, and I do keep it in its little velvet bag, because this is like a real velvet bag. This is like the velvet from my childhood, not the crappy stuff that they call velvet today. This is like the real deal, and I love it. So next I wore this guy here. This is Addict from Dior. I love this perfume. Oh, I love it. This is, I'm so sad because this bottle is almost gone. I've probably got, I don't know, I've probably got 2 more wears than this. And then I'm gonna have to buy another bottle, which I'm not looking forward to because Addict is expensive, but I will buy it because I adore Dior Addict. It's such a beautiful, sweet, I think this newer formulation doesn't even have Tonka in it. I think it's like jasmine and vanilla and Madagascar vanilla or bourbon vanilla. Actually, I think it's bourbon vanilla. And this one doesn't even have Tonka in it, but the way that the notes are blended, it smells like Tonka. It smells like a beautiful, deep, rich, like roasty Tonka note. And it's beautiful. The newest formulation it's not quite as beautiful as the original 2002 formulation, but this is one that Dior did not butcher. They did not ruin this perfume. I think that it is still amazing. Even this newest formulation is still incredible. I love it. This is, I've been asked a few times if I like this better or Manifesto better, and I think if at the end of the day, if I had to choose, I think I would choose Addict. There's just, I think because it's a little bit sweeter than Manifesto, it's more rich smelling than Manifesto. So I do think that I would go with Addict. Even the newest formulation, I think I would go with Addict. I love it. So anyways, that is Dior Addict. Absolute beast of a fragrance. Even the newest formulation is still an absolute beast. You can easily get 8-10 hours out of this perfume, and yeah, it's amazing. Okay, next I've got this one here. I told you guys this is gonna come up at least once a month because it's been living out. It's just been living out and not put away, and I crave it all of the time. This is Lanvin's Tryon from Lancome. I'm just obsessed with this fragrance, and it's funny because as much as I've worn this, I mean, this has lived out somewhere, and I've been wearing this probably twice a week for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months now. Look how much I still have left. I mean, you can barely tell it's even been used because it's such an absolute beast. You literally need like 2 sprays and you're good. I love this. I wish the notes just say that it's like crystallized vanilla and lavender. It's a couple different kinds of lavender, maybe even 2 or 3 different kinds of lavender. And then it says crystallized vanilla. It's a beautiful fragrance though. It's an absolute beast. I wear this one to bed a lot because it's super cozy. My daughter absolutely hates this perfume. Every time I spray this on, she'll say, "Ew, Mom, your skincare stinks." And it's not my skincare, it's the perfume. And the second time that she said it, I was like, no, she said that last time I wore Lanvin's Tryon on. She just hates this perfume. She hates this. She thinks it stinks. She does not like it at all. And I could see that coming from a kid. It's not juvenile smelling at all. It's a very grown woman kind of scent, but Yeah. She said it smells like roasting plastic. She hates it. She says it smells like burning plastic. I adore it though. So anyways, that is Lancome L'Avance Tryon. Okay, and then the last perfume combination I wore was again a fail. I was so hoping that this was gonna be a good one, but it was not. So I layered this one here. This is Gilles Cantuel, and it's just called Vanille. This is a pretty good clone of Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. It's just much lighter. It's even a little bit smoother than the real Tom Ford fragrance. It's an easier, more wearable version of Tobacco Vanille. It's super, super easy. This one's really easy to wear. So for whatever reason, I thought it would be a good idea to layer this one here. This is the Paulina Rubio Oro fragrance. Again, this one's kind of spicy. It's got a little bit of coffee in it. It's kind of got a perfuminess to it. And it is like the slightest bit sweet, but it's not, I don't know, the sweetness almost comes from the perfuminess, if that makes any sense. But yeah, this one, I don't know. I don't know why, and thankfully I just sprayed it all up and down my arm and tested it before I did the whole combination all over, and I'm so glad I did because it was not a good combination at all. I think because there is a kind of slight sweet perfuminess to the Paulina Rubio that I didn't notice when I first got this, that I am definitely noticing now. It almost gives me, yeah, it almost gives me like vintage. It smells like a 90s fragrance, actually. It smells very 90s. I don't know. It's not the same kind of perfume that Vanille is. This is a really beautiful spiced tobacco and vanilla scent. It's super easy to wear, really just super pleasant. And the Paulina Rubio I don't know what to do with this perfume. I may end up passing this along because I just don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to wear this one, and I don't think that I would wear it on its own. But anyways, yeah, this is just not a very good combination at all. I was hoping that the coffee in this would come out and that it would just pair really well with the tobacco and the vanilla and the spices. They've both got spices in them, but it didn't pair well at all. So anyways, that is Gilles Cantuel Vanille, which is amazing, and Paulina Rubio Oro, which is meh, it's okay. Okay, and then I had one home fragrance empty, which is this here. This is the, well, actually, this one candle is going to represent two candles that I burned through. So I burned through the caramel cookie. These are candles from Ulta, and I loved the caramel cookie one. I thought it smelled really nice. It was just a super nice like bakery scent. It filled the house nicely. It was really good. And then what is the one? Toasted Fireside. And then so when Ulta sent these to me, they didn't bubble wrap them at all. One was just kind of rolling around in the box, and the glass was pretty broken around the sides. So I froze the candle, and then I was able to slide the candle out so that I could salvage the candle. So I burned the caramel cookie, and once I burned through this, I just popped the Toasted Fireside one in on top of that and then burned it again. So that's what's in here. And the Toasted Fireside is beautiful. I've got another one burning right now, the replacement that they sent. I've got that one burning right now, and it is stunning. It's like, it's got tobacco in it. It's like a sweet tobacco candle, and it's beautiful. It's not a bakery scent, but still super, super cozy and lovely, and it fills up the entire house. I would say this is a pretty small house. The Airbnb we're staying in is not even, it's like just under 1,000 square feet. So it easily fills most of this house. And definitely the front part, like when you first walk in. But I think if you've got like a huge room or a big house, I don't think that it would fill like your whole house. I would say it would fill a room really nicely, but maybe not like a whole big house. But yeah, I like these. They were like 10 bucks, I feel like, for $10. And I think I used a coupon on top of that, so I think I got them for like $8. So for $8, I think they're super nice 3-wick candles. And yeah, I would totally buy them again. So anyways, that is my one home fragrance empty. Boy, this is a long one. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.